They took your photograph, your face, your essence, and handed it over to a hitman. Not for elimination, no, this was different. They wanted insight, prediction, control. They thought a man who deals in shadows, who dances with danger, could reveal who you really are. But what the hitman saw, that left them shaken to their core. You see, they weren't just handing over a picture, they were offering a fragment of your soul. They thought they could define you through his cold, calculated gaze. But here's the irony, a hitman doesn't fear death. He fears the unpredictable. And you're a storm too wild to chart, a force too primal to tame. The hitman didn't just see a target. He saw your scars, those beautiful, jagged marks of resilience. He saw the fire in your eyes, not as a spark, but a raging inferno ready to consume anything in its path. He saw chaos personified, a tempest in human form. And that terrified them. They wanted a neat little dossier of strengths, weaknesses, vulnerabilities, but what they got was raw power, unfiltered and untamed. They got a story of endurance, of nights spent wrestling with demons, of battles fought in silence while the world looked away. They thought a hitman could predict your moves, map your psyche, break you down into something manageable, but what he found was a paradox: destruction and creation, light and darkness, chaos and control. You are not a victim of circumstance, but a master of it. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every loss has been fuel for the fire within you. Let me ask you this. Why did they hand over your photo in the first place? Was it fear? Jealousy? A desperate need to understand what they could never control? It doesn't matter. What matters is this: they don't get to define you. No hitman, no critic, no enemy can capture the depth of your essence. Because you, my friend, are not a static image. You are a living, breathing revolution, a symphony of contradictions. They saw the weight of your decisions, the burden of your dreams, and they trembled because they realized something terrifying: you are unstoppable. They handed your photo to a hitman expecting clarity. Instead, they got chaos. Instead, they got the truth. And the truth has a funny way of unsettling people. It strips away the illusions, shatters the comfortable lies they tell themselves. They saw a glimpse of your potential and mistook it for a threat. And maybe it is. You are a threat to their complacency, their mediocrity, their fragile sense of control. But being a threat, that's not a weakness. It's a gift. A reminder that you were never meant to fit into their neat little narratives. You were born to disrupt, to defy, to ascend. And now, as they sit in their comfortable delusions, you stand on the edge of greatness. You have a choice. Will you let their fear define you? Or will you rise above, unapologetic and relentless, and show them what it means to live without limits? Because the hitman didn't predict your fall. He saw your rise. He saw the moment you stopped being the person they thought you were and became the person you were destined to be. So let them whisper, let them fear, let them try to make sense of you, because at the end of the day, their opinions are dust in the wind. What matters is what you do with the fire within you. Will you let it consume you, or will you forge something magnificent? The world is watching, trembling, waiting, and you're just getting started. So smile, my dear force of nature. Let them wonder, let them fear, let them know that the greatest adversary they will ever face is you. Chaos, it doesn't ask for permission, it doesn't knock politely on the door. It storms in, flips the table, and laughs in the face of order. Today, I'm not here to comfort you with warm words or polite reassurances. I'm here to tell you a story that drips with irony, soaked in the audacity of fate. A story where your photo, the essence of you, was handed over to a hitman. A hitman Not some mystic peering into crystal balls, but a figure who lives in the shadows, someone hired to erase lives, to end stories before they're fully written. And yet, when they looked at your photo, something stopped them cold. Something they didn't expect, a force, raw and unrelenting, staring back at them. You see, the hitman wasn't looking at just a picture. No, they were staring into the depths of your existence. The chaos, the scars, the moments when the world tried to break you, but you refused to shatter. They expected to see a target. What they found instead was a storm, a hurricane of willpower, resilience, and unapologetic defiance. Let me ask you, why do you think they handed over your photo in the first place? Was it hatred? Fear? A desperate attempt to control something they couldn't understand? Whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. What matters is this: they underestimated you. They thought a single bullet could silence the symphony of your story. They thought you were just another chapter they could end. But here's the twist: you are not a chapter. You are the entire book. A story so profound, so intricate, that it left even the hitman, the bringer of finality, questioning their purpose. They saw your photo and felt something they rarely do: hesitation. Why? Because your essence whispered something terrifying in their ear: this one is different. You are not a victim of circumstance. You are the architect of your survival. Every scar on your body, every shadow in your soul, is a testament to battles fought and won. They saw the fire in your eyes and mistook it for fear. But it wasn't fear, it was hunger. A hunger to rise, to conquer, to prove that no force, not even death itself, could define you. And now you stand at a crossroads. They sent someone to end you, but in doing so, they awaken something far more dangerous, a force that thrives on challenges, on chaos, on proving the world wrong. So I ask you, what will you do at this moment? Will you let their doubts, their fears, their bullets shape your story? Or will you rise unyielding and show them that you are more than a target on a list? Let them tremble. Let them whisper your name in fear. Let them realize that the photo they handed over wasn't just an image, it was a warning. A warning that you are a force of nature, unstoppable, uncontainable, and absolutely unforgettable. You see, they didn't send the hitman to destroy you. They sent them to witness your rise. And rise you shall. Because chaos doesn't die, it evolves. And you, my friend, are the embodiment of that evolution. They brought a hitman to destroy you. A cold professional, a master of silent endings. But here's what they didn't understand: you can't destroy a beast. You can't tame a monster. And you sure as hell can't outplay a joker. You see, they thought you were prey, easy to corner, simple to eliminate, but they forgot one crucial thing: a beast doesn't run from the hunter. A monster doesn't cower in fear. And a joker flips the script. When they handed over your photo, they believed they'd written your last chapter. They expected fear, desperation, maybe even surrender. What they didn't anticipate was the chaos brewing beneath your skin. They didn't see the predator hiding in plain sight. The kind that doesn't just survive but thrives in the hunt. And now the tables have turned. The hitman, the so-called hunter, finds themselves trapped in a game they don't understand. Because you're not just their target, you've become their nightmare. The hunted has become the hunter. You are the beast they feared in whispers. The monster they thought was only a legend. And the joker who turns even the most calculated plans into pure, unfiltered chaos. They brought a hitman to end you. But what they really did was unleash you. And now, you're not just fighting back, you're rewriting the rules. One move at a time, you're dismantling their control, shattering their illusions, and showing them what real power looks like. So let them run. Let them hide. Let them feel the weight of their mistake with every breath they take. They wanted to erase you, but instead they've given you the perfect stage to rise. And when the dust settles, they'll realize one thing: you can't destroy what refuses to die. You can't kill chaos. You can only watch in terror as it consumes everything in its path. And oh yeah, if you really like this content, subscribe to my free newsletter and get free updates on videos. If you are interested, comment Joker below this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and tell the Batman I said hello.
You can have all the money in your hands, all the possessions anyone can ever have, but it's all worthless treasure. True worth is only measured not by what you got, but what you got in your heart. You can have everything, but what does it mean? It all means nothing if you don't stand up for something. You can't just talk the talk, you got to walk that walk. Yes, you do. It all means nothing if you don't stand up for something. And I stand up for you. And I stand up for you. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. You do the best that you can do. Then you can look in the mirror, proud of who's looking back at you. Define the life you're living, not by what you take, but what you're giving. And if you bet on love, there's no way you'll ever lose. Take a stand, make a stand for what's right. It's always worth the fight. It all means nothing if you don't stand up for something. You can't just talk the talk, you got to walk that walk. Yes, you do. It all means nothing if you don't stand up for something. And I stand up for you, self-respect, dignity. If that's all you got, then you got all you need. And without that, you don't have a thing. Oh, no, no.
Rise up, love, lift your hands. I stand with you cause I understand. Ain't here to judge, just to take a stand. The greater plan's the creator's plan. Let's all rise like the day began. Reach out and touch with the Savior's hand. On rock we stand like it's native land. Let the ways of love be the ways of man.
If you don't stand for something, you can't just talk the talk, you got to walk that walk. Yes, you do. It all means nothing if you don't stand up for something. And I stand up for you. Yeah, I stand up for you. And I stand up for you. Stand up for you. Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Hey y'all, it's me. I'm back. I got a quick message. This is for somebody, right? Because I know it's for me, right? I'm sitting here and I'm meditating, how I do. I think about God and I listen to what He's showing me, what He's saying to me, right? So, and it was something about the fire, right? It's something about you not looking like what you've been through, right? And I'm going to be honest, right? Because the subject was your health, right? Specifically your sexual health, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, people may think that I haven't experienced some things, right? But I say to myself, if they only knew I was walking in the fire, right? And God is the one that allowed me to come out the fire, right, without being burned. Come on, Spirit. And the first thing I heard, right, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Listen, I had to look it up, right, because I wasn't sure if I was saying it right, but when I was sitting in that chair, that's what came to me. And then the Spirit said, it was because you was put in the fire. You were put in the fire to be executed. Hello? That's why you came out without being burned. Come on, Spirit. Let me read this. The three men that King Nebuchadnezzar threw into a fiery furnace were Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And I kept trying to say Abednego, and I'm like, I don't even know if I said, but you know who I'm talking about, right? I said, I know y'all are. I know who y'all are, right? I'm like, listen, whatever. The three men were thrown into the furnace as punishment for refusing to bow down to the king's image. Come on, Spirit, talk to me. When the king witnessed their execution, he was surprised to see 4 men in the fire and recognized the 4th man as the Son of God. Come on now. The 3 men were unharmed by the fire, and when they emerged from the surface, they did not smell like fire, and their ropes were not scorched. Listen. Somebody tried to have you executed. You hear me? You and a few others. You may not know the other people, but you know that you was in that fire, right? You know that you were thrown in there. You were falsely accused, right? And then you were persecuted. And then you were sent to be executed. You weren't supposed to come out that fire. Let me take this out of my ear. You weren't supposed to come out that fire. Ooh, Spirit. Ooh, wee. This is the deck I want. This is the deck I'm going to use then. It's here. Ooh, wee. Somebody going to pay for that. You know that, right? Now what? Covered by the blood of Jesus. Do you hear me? Because you were falsely accused. Man, listen, my Father talking, he's talking, listen, and here I am to give it to you. What's this message, Father? That's why. And, you know, because I was sitting there and I was like, God, you know, because I was, you know, I think about, you know, how he's pulled me out of situations and saved my life, literally, right? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, okay? And the thing, because I think back on the things that missed me, right? The bullets that I dodged, right? And it was only because of God's grace and him telling me, when he said move, I move, right? I don't know why. But anyway, and I said, damn, how come, right? Like, because I know I ain't perfect, right? I know I ain't perfect. And here, this is where the hit came. And I was saying, God, why you saved me, right? What was it? What? Because I'm trying to understand my connection. I'm really trying to understand who I am in him, right? And how much I really mean to him. And I got to I don't want to take myself that serious, but man, listen. So I was saying to myself, why wasn't I tainted? Why wasn't I touched by it, Father? Why? And it was like, because you were thrown in the fire, baby. You didn't go in there willingly. And that's when Meshach, Rashach, and Abednego came in my spirit. I said, look at that, look at that. He said, because you were thrown in the fire. You were sent to be executed. You were sacrificed. And you and 2 other people. Now, who are the 2 other people? Yes. Said that's why you were protected, because you were thrown in there. You were being executed. You were being shut up. You understand? You were a threat. Because you would not bow down to the king. You hear me? You wouldn't bow down to somebody's rule. So they decided, oh, off with her head. Right? Burn her. Put her in the fire. Right? Like a common witch, right? A common burning, right? But they lied. You ain't nobody's witch. You just close to that man upstairs, baby. That's your freaking brother and that's your father. If you ain't never had one, you ain't never had one in your life. You know who he is. You ain't never been without one. Although they wanted you to think you didn't have one. They wanted to think that you didn't have anybody looking out for you. That nobody didn't care for you. Right? They knew. See what? They knew who you were. They knew how special you were. It was envy and jealousy. Okay? But the thing that hurts the most, right, is they tried God. They tried God. What's this message? And you weren't the only one. There was 3 of them in there, baby. So there's two more people this person had tried to execute. You hear me? 2 more. So you know who you are. Why? I'm trying to understand my journey, Father. Why was I even put in that fight? Why was I even put in that position? You weren't. You were forced into that position. And the execution was to shut you up, so you could never talk about it. So you could never expose it. So you could never get to this place right here when I tell you what happened. Oh, give me a second, y'all. 7 of charisma, 7 of pentacles, investments, 7 of pentacles. This is almost giving me the energy with him picking that fruit, right, from that tree. It's like when the time was right, when the fruit was ready, right, to be picked. That's like that's knowledge, right? The tree of knowledge, right?